Is it possible for women and men to understand each other in a relationship? It will require a certain type of effort and understanding if you truly want to be able to understand each other. Because one thing about those two different genders is that they seem to come from different planets. Just like inside your own brain, your right and your left hemisphere are very similar to the differences of men and women. One of the brain hemisphere is about logic, mathematics, probabilities, all those kinds of things. While the other side of the brain is about intuition, feeling, emotion, the color of life. And very often, women tend to be more to that side, to emotion, feeling, intuition, while men tend to be more toward mathematics, logic, probabilities. So when they try to talk together, it really looks like they come from different planets. So if they don't try to understand each other, how their brain function, then of course there will be a lot of clash, a lot of disconnection. And if one will be spiritually evolved beyond the mind, then that phenomena will not matter much anymore. Because in spirituality, you have to balance your right and your left hemisphere of the brain. If you are only masculine, only logic, mathematics, all of this, then you become like a block of ice and life becomes dull. On the other hand, if you are only on the feminine side, only with emotion, with feeling, intuition, nothing else, you become an emotional mess and you are not in tune at all with reality. You are only thinking about your own feeling and it creates an illusion all the time that is not truly factual. So is it better to be on the male side, just mathematics, on the feeling side, woman? None of them is better than each other because we need the balance of the two. That's why we use some pranayama to balance the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. So how does that apply to a relationship, to understanding each other? When you're about to have an argument or you want to pass a message to your partner, you must first remember how they are within their mind. For example, if a woman wants to tell something to a man, but all she talks about is feeling, I feel, the man is not going to connect for most of the time. Because even her feelings are not really a fact most of the time. It's not because you feel something that it is the truth. And it's not because you feel something that someone has to do something about it. So when she talks that way to the man who is ready to build with mathematic probabilities, who is ready to find a solution, to talk it out logically, it just doesn't work out. And the opposite is also right. If the man wants to talk to the woman only using logic, mathematics, all of that, he is not going to connect with her because she's thinking in terms of feeling. So the one who is feminine needs to connect more with logic so that she is not overwhelmed by her emotion. And the one who is masculine needs to connect to emotion, to put himself in the shoes of others, to understand how they feel beyond logic, because sometimes it's not logical, but it's still what they feel. So you really have to understand not each other as a person, just the differences in the gender and how the brain works. And the day that you do so, your communication will become of a much greater quality. It will be easier to understand each other because you won't only be about emotion and you won't only be about mathematics, logic, all of this, and in between to understand each other. There is even a book that is called, I think, Men from Mars and Women from Venus, and it says that the men from Mars, they always find solution for everything. They have a problem, they sit, they find solution, they take action, it's fixed. But on Venus, when woman has issues, they never want to hear about any solution. All that they want is comfort, is someone to be there for them, to be heard, to feel like someone cares about them. So when the men from Mars try to help the woman from Venus and he gives her all the solution of the world, do this and it will be fixed, she don't like it. She feels like he is not listening to her. She feels that he is not acknowledging her feeling. And if the man has anything that he wants to fix, and she start to talk about emotion, he also feel like, what is she saying? So you gotta understand the differences in the female and the male brain. If you are lucky and both of you are very spiritually evolved above the mind, this issue probably won't be here much. But most of the time, that tend to not really be the case. Either both are asleep or just one is awakened most of the time. And when you will embrace this fact, a certain understanding arises in you, and it allows you to rephrase whatever you want to say in a way that will be easier to connect with for your partner. You understand there's not only emotion are not always truth, and you understand that it's not always about finding a solution. Sometimes it's about making each other feel heard, feel loved, and taken care of. To the consciousness level, men and women are also very different. And again, I'm talking about mostly when asleep. Because when you awaken, when you truly grow spiritually, you go beyond the mind. But I already said that, so remember, I'm talking really at the basic level. In general, men's consciousness is linear, which means whatever they feel, they go on feeling it for a long period of time because they don't really change quickly. On the other hand, women are not linear at all. They're more like a roller coaster. They go from happiness to unhappiness, to hungry to happy, to this and that, and they keep switching. And this is something we must understand as well. For example, when a man is staying with the same emotion, the woman suddenly has a crash, and she feels some emotion that are not really nice to be around. Well, the man can be aware that she's going to change soon because her emotion keeps switching. And if he becomes aware of it, he will be more patient. On the other hand, the woman also have to understand that men's consciousness is linear. So at some point, if she is bringing way too much turmoil uselessly, when the man will crash, his crash will stay for a longer amount of time. He is most likely not going to switch to happiness out of nowhere, all happy, like women sometimes can do, because that's not natural for him. So he will be neutral, fine, and boom, when he crashes, don't expect him to get back up soon. He is going to stay low for a while, most of the time. And when you understand the difference in the rhythm and the tempo of consciousness from men and women, once again, it will allow you to deal with it better. For example, a man, when everything is going bad with each other, there is a lot of clash happening, he will need his time alone to recharge, to be neutral, to think about it, and then come back. On the other hand, the woman, she don't want to be left alone most of the time. She need to feel that she is heard, that she is loved, that someone is here for her. So you need a balance once again. Leave the man to have his time. And the man, don't leave the woman for too long and show her that you care, that you love, or maybe if you need your time alone, you can let her know, I'm just going to take my time and I'll come back in an hour or so. And you see, everything that I shared with you, I'm not saying is the absolute answer, but what I do hope is that this video has given you an awakening to the fact that female brain and male brain are very different. And the day you understand how they work is the day you will be able to bring so much more harmony in your relationship. And not only just with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, even with your family, with your friends, even with your client at work. It is so powerful to understand psychology. So is there anything that I said that you don't agree with, or something you think, oh wow, I never thought about it and it's going to change your perspective in the future? Let me know within the comment. And you can also identify what are you at the moment, more feminine or more masculine? Because it doesn't always have to be connected to gender. There is some women who are more masculine in their mind because they are very logical, with probability, mathematics, but they don't really focus on emotion. Just like there are some men who are not connected to logic, to mathematics, all of this. They are fully emotional. So it's not always just about gender. It's just that in general, feminine is on the feminine side, masculine is on the masculine side. So remember that to not apply it to everyone blindly. So thank you for watching this video. I am Simon, and together we grow spiritually beyond pretending. Hare Krishna.